All right, we back, and we just saw Dune Part 2. Is that what we're calling it?
Part 2, yes.
Dune
but I
2,
think Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2 should be just Dune, and it's a 5.5-hour long film.
Well, that's
For me,
rough.
that's Dune. Part 1 and Part 2, just one whole film. It's just perfect.
That's a really long one film.
Yeah.
Even just alone, as Part 2 was killing.
Yeah.
That was heat, man.
2.5 hours, but it's just perfect. The editing is on point. It gets the story
It was
going.
beautiful, and they were switching the aspect ratio up.
Oh yeah. IMAX, baby.
Phenomenal.
You only get that if you see it on IMAX.
Phenomenal.
Are you hindsighting?
You already know.
Yes, sir. Damn.
God, it's so quiet out here. This never happens.
No.
Easy's the one to get her opinion.
To my opinion?
Yes. She knows film. So.
It was really loud.
It was really loud.
It was really
Perfect.
loud.
I needed all
IMAX
that.
movie.
Yeah. It was good. I feel like it's not my type of movie, but that doesn't make it a bad movie. Does that make sense?
Interesting.
Like I like,
okay.
it's gorgeous, and the music was great, and everybody did a good job, and they did their thing. I just didn't really care about anyone ever, but but that's my.
Okay.
You
Did you
know
see
what
the
I
first
mean?
one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't like the first one. This is better
Is
than
that-
the first one.
Oh yeah, the
For
first one was
sure.
actually crap for me, but this was awesome.
The pacing, I feel like the beginning just took a really long. I get that he was like learning. It felt like the Avatar movie too, where like he has to
For
learn
part
how to
one
be
or this one?
for this
do
one.
not
For this
compare
one.
this
Do you
to
know what I
Avatar.
mean,
Avatar
though?
was trash.
Shut
And
up.
Dune 2 was alright.
It's an objectively
God,
very well done
Avatar was
movie. It's just not my type. Like it is a war movie, and it is like
It was a war movie.
and it's like a
I
boy
I
like
would
that
say
about it.
it's a political movie.
yeah, which is
Political,
also not
which
my
is war.
vibe.
And
Which is war.
I would say for me it's a romance. It's a romantic film.
I can go for that, too.
Between
I
Chani
can go
and
for
I
Paul.
had actually a hard time
You-
believing them as a
I-
couple because they're so like.
Well, haven't you seen their
that-
chemistry off screen?
No,
When
but
they
I do
go,
I
"We're
do have a
best
question
friends."
for you, Izzy, because
Yeah?
the soundtrack, the music.
Yeah.
There's only one flute, or in the whole.
You've done
'cause
research, I see.
No,
Oh.
well I've seen it 5 times. So there's like
really
strings and drums
But,
all
like,
around,
one
but
woodwind?
one woodwind.
And that's her?
And that's not her,
That's the
but
voice going,
the relationship between them. And that's why I
Ah.
think it's a romance, because it's so specific to that moment.
I see.
And that's why I see them as a couple, because of their own instrument.
Hold on, you picked this up after just seeing it all the times. You would notice, like, damn, every
I
time
noticed
they
that.
come on
I
scene,
noticed
oh.
that the first time,
My
and then
God.
I've enjoyed. That's my favorite scene of the whole film, and that's
Which
that's
one?
why I keep seeing it. The one where, then the soundtrack is called
Are they
Quiet
having
Time.
sex? Is it when they're
No.
having sex?
They don't have
I
sex,
love
and
when
that's
they
why.
have sex.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
They
Well,
do.
They had
totally
sex.
did.
with their breaths.
With their
That's not.
No, I'm
that's
pretty
not a sex
sure
scene.
he was using his sandworm on
No,
it.
Hey. No. But
That's
on the
great.
soundtrack it's called a quiet time between storms, I think, or a time of quiet between storms.
Because that was the calm
And
scenes,
that's
I guess.
and that's when Paul is learning to, like when Chani says that she'll show him the way of the Fremen, and they kiss, and it's like a wraparound, and
Yeah, that was
that's my
That's
favorite
good.
scene. And what I love about it is that it ends quickly, like abruptly,
Yeah.
and then the drums of war and the destruction begins, and so like it's like an interrupted love story, and then tragedy happens,
Yeah.
and it breaks me every time.
I do
would
feel
say
like
it was a fall story.
it was a what?
Like a fall story. Like, you know, the Star Wars vibe where your hero turns into your villain.
It's true.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the Messiah is definitely gonna be the villain.
Right. I think it was a very tight movie. As long as it was, I was like every moment needed to be
Right.
there, and
For
then like
sure,
things,
yes.
and
That
then like
is good
things
phrase. Oh,
like
yeah.
at the end paid off.
sure.
Like when they were like, "Oh my gosh, and the desert spring brought back the thing." I was like, "Fine, you did it.
Yo,
I
You
do-
did your job."
Yeah, I do have questions for you because you know the Bible and I don't.
I
And
do
I
know
feel
the
like
Bible.
I feel like this is just a Messiah story. And,
Right.
And there are a lot of
definitely
parallels.
was that vibe for sure.
I do not want to be like disrespectful to the religions out there, but what
but
what
this
is
was
yeah,
a good
like-
description of religion, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no,
Or-
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It was very like, very Isaiah, like very much like all the prophecies and everybody
Yeah, for
writing
sure.
things.
Okay.
And then like when you get there, right, because like Isaiah was written 300 years before the Gospels, and then you're like, oh, this is real, and everybody's like, okay,
You know,
but we've
like
been
the
chatting.
dates. Oh, you're deep.
Oh, she knows.
Okay,
She knows the Bible.
It's true. I do know the Bible. So like it would be hard to believe, like it's an interesting, I find these concepts really interesting of like believing a Messiah, and like if we were walking around with one, like that would be really weird.
The movie Messiah, Danny.
Yeah.
But
the
I
third
do
one.
think the flip was a little too fast. Like he spent the whole time being like, I don't wanna, and then he takes like one like ounce
he
of Wonderland
died.
juice.
He died,
right?
Come on, that was
And
the water
when
of
you-
life.
Yeah. But when you
Come
back,
on, that changes everything.
He not only died, he saw his entire
The past,
bloodline
yeah.
Yeah.
and past and future.
Right. Anya Taylor-Joy, she pops in there.
I'm your
I
sister.
love you. Yeets
I mean, he
out.
discovered he was a Harkonnen. That was pretty rough.
The
That was
amount of-
pretty rough for
This is
a
true.
change, for a 180-degree change. I feel like that's the reason.
Yeah.
That's
He
that's
definitely
levels.
leaned into it a bit much, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But
damn,
he
bro.
did say to win this, I have to be a Harkonnen.
There are many potential futures. I see one. And I'm like, oh, okay.
This movie's so good. I mean, I've seen it 5 times, and I do want to see it again. Maybe I'll
I'm gonna
wait
see
a
it
couple.
again when it hits
I'm reading the
HBO
book.
Max.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. I bought it yesterday, and I
Oh.
went through 3 different chapters. One in the beginning, the first 2 chapters, the last chapter, and one in the middle. I don't remember which. Just to
Is it
see how
Yeah.
it's almost 1-to-1 to the films.
Wow.
And that's why I get like high praise to the knee. And in the book, if you read the book, you'll love the story even more, because the Kwisatz Haderach is the great power that the Bene Gesserit are afraid of.
Oh, that's what she said. Yeah.
The
Okay.
Kwisatz Haderach, and that power comes only can come from a man knowing the ways of the women, of the female
So the
bloodline.
And
Lisan
I have a
Al-Gaid.
weird time with this.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
super interesting.
I
It's
don't.
super interesting
I
because
find it weird.
in
Oh,
Dune-
there's not equal rights with the water of life?
I don't know. It's just weird that all like I understand that the book was written in like the 40s, right? So like this is just a
Probably
different
60.
time
Oh, yeah.
of like interpretations of gender roles. But I find their
Yes.
gender roles kind of weird sometimes.
But they broke
But
them.
also-
Is
also-
I don't know if they did.
In
Did
the,
they?
world, in the world of Dune, they live in a matriarchy because the Bene Gesserit rule
Right,
the
right.
politics, and I do believe that's because they give life and that they have like this whole. But they're afraid of a man knowing their bloodline spiritually,
Isn't
and that's
that
the Kwisatz
weird,
Haderach.
though?
Yes, it is. But
And the
It's so
pregnancy thing,
interesting.
where they
It's
met
so
Austin
interesting.
Butler, and she goes, solidified the
Yeah,
bloodline.
oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't love.
Strategic.
no, they use them as
strategic
weapons.
fucking.
They use them as weapons.
Strategic
Yeah,
pregnancy.
right. Which
okay?
is to me is like male fear indoctrinated. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I would say it's the fear of like politics corrupt people, and that's
women. They corrupt women. The men.
Politics corrupt everybody.
the men are already
The
corrupted.
men.
Politics
I don't know,
corrupt
like,
everybody.
If
I
you-
thought this was a good representation of what it might be if it was a matriarchal system, you know? Like,
I agree with that.
I think that
Or
while
not-
women are
not really,
caring
but
and we
yeah.
see them that way, if the roles were reversed, like power does just corrupt people, it doesn't matter who you are.
That's
Right.
and that's
At the
I
end of the day,
don't know,
when you
but
have that
isn't
power.
it just like two, instead of like, I don't know if it's a matriarchy, because isn't it just like two different factions of government? Like there's like
I guess
the
it
weird
did seem like that,
spiritual
the
government,
spiritual one, and
but
then,
then
like,
there's
the
also
real
the
government.
emperor
Yeah.
was still like an
No,
old
but
white man.
Oh, but he was listening to everything that she said. Like she told him to kill all the
manipulated
Atreides.
by the Bene Gesserit,
This is a good
the
point.
Reverend Mother.
This is a good point.
Okay, I gotta ask some questions though.
We got to see it again.
Okay, so the Bene Gesserit was separate from what Rebecca Ferguson was doing. She was the something mother. She was.
Rebecca
No, I think
Ferguson
she
is a
is-
Bene
she is
Gesserit.
She is a Bene
She
Gesserit, but
is.
it seemed as if she branched off to a new path. Like I couldn't
She
figure that
became
part
like
out.
But that's
somebody
okay.
else's.
So
Like once a Bene Gesserit, always.
She got
Or no.
full of herself a little bit because she wanted to fool the Southern Fremen, and she wanted them to
I
believe.
follow that.
Okay.
I follow that. But
So-
was she creating, like, she was going off of that legend that had been set already, but that was set by the Bene Gesserit,
Yes.
and she was taking on that role that was already set by
Yeah,
them.
I feel like she had ambitions to become the Reverend Mother.
The Reverend Mother. There we
and
go.
to like.
But they were calling her Reverend Mother.
for
'Cause
the
she
Fremen,
sipped
but
on the
not
drink.
for the
But
Bene-
she's like
and
her
when the
own-
old woman with the
There
what
were
is this?
12 old women.
Drink it. That one.
Yeah, the Darth Vader, the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Darth Vader showed up.
When female Darth Vader showed up, I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
That was the Reverend, like the highest
I
power
see.
in the Bene
She
Gesserit,
just
and the
was, like,
power
right,
changed.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
When Paul won over the emperor,
Yeah.
she won over as Reverend Mother, and
I
so
see.
they
I just can't. Every time I see a Dune thing, I'm like, I just can't wait till Way of Kings is a movie. Like, there's other high fantasy things that I
Right.
think would
Don't
be.
even know what
Right.
that is. Put me on.
Brandon Sanderson,
Who doesn't?
Mistborn. That to me is like. I understand what I just think. I think he has. I think. What do I think?
Yeah.
I feel like Dune doesn't have a lot to say. I might be wrong, but like didn't move me emotionally. I think there's other content that has a lot of these pieces, but also moves me as a
Well,
person.
this is a story that's been told. I will say that. I love the movie, but it is a story I've seen
Yeah.
before.
I wasn't like shocked. Even with like this
For sure.
guy's
Yeah, in
your
the Bible,
dad
man.
or your
Well,
grandpa.
I'm
I was
done-
like,
hey,
that's true.
Even
When the guy was when the old man.
That was Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like I wasn't shocked at all.
Again, I feel like this is what my guy thought he was doing. Lucas thought he was making this movie.
This is
There's
He
true.
a
was just
funny
missing the
story I
mark a
just
little bit.
found out. George Lucas was in the set of The Phantom of the Paradise, the Brian De Palma film. And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a,
that one.
That's a musical. That's a musical that's set in the desert, and they have masks and they have disguises. I haven't seen it. I bought it on Blu-ray just yesterday, so I will see it. But George Lucas was in the set in the desert while they were filming a giant musical religious opera
I
with
see.
masks and everything. And George Lucas, had just read Dune, and he was cooking something. And that when he saw the
Okay,
Phantom
that
of the
makes sense.
Paradise,
That
he
makes
thought
sense.
of like a big presence, and I figure that's Darth Vader for him.
Right.
So he was like literally in the dunes.
So
of
he
the
was
sound.
jacking Dune. That is how we got
Jacking.
there.
And he took.
And he sold out to this guy over here.
My
That's
take,
crazy.
literally, he pointed to
Oh,
Mickey
no,
Mouse.
literally, like it's the whole gang right
That
there.
guy.
Oh, Darth Vader and Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse. Yeah.
That's
We should be
crazy.
We're on Hollywood Boulevard.
We're on Hollywood
I
Boulevard, yeah.
appreciate though, like most times when movies like say the name of the movie in it, I go, but they did a good job
They
at this
killed
one.
it.
When they said Dune, they ate.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
Dune, and I was
Again,
like,
high
okay.
praise.
Ancient
Missy,
name.
high praise.
Freeman name.
No, I thought that was great. There were a couple
Okay.
moments that ate when he was riding the little like the
Right.
worm thing. That ate. Yeah. That was
Oh,
like.
The frame that I loved the most about the worm riding was Stilgar, Javier Bardem's
He was
character.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
rolling through there.
When he
when
was,
it like,
yeah,
doing
he
the-
was like
he's like
coming
hanging.
up like coming up like vertically, but it was the frame was full because of the
Yeah.
cinematography behind it, and that was stunning.
The cinematography
That
was
was-
actually not missing one
No,
frame.
it was great.
That was,
the first
yeah.
shot was
magnificent.
really the long take where like
Yeah.
they're hanging out with him and then they go up and then they go down and it's a great. Their use of color was great.
That's-
Sometimes I got
that's-
confused about what day part it was though. Like
Day
I
part?
would
Okay.
like that we would be like dark and it would be night and then we got on top of a helicopter then it was daytime and I was like I don't know what
I
time
stopped
it is.
asking questions when we went to the
I
black and
think-
white world of the Harkonnens, and I was like, okay, I guess we're just doing
That's true.
whatever.
The black and white world was
That
great.
is-
We're just doing whatever. Okay,
That
I loved it
is-
though.
That is a different planet. Yes.
Yes.
But how come it was like that sometimes, but then sometimes on
No,
the same
sometimes
planet
they
it
wore
wasn't?
makeup
Yeah.
and sometimes they didn't
filmed
wear
it in
makeup.
infrared, so it's a different sensor.
But they were saying like
But
outside it
Oh.
looks like that whiteness, and then
Yeah, yeah,
inside
yeah.
they're just normal.
I
They
don't
dressed
know,
up
but
for
I
the
guess-
event. I thought it was.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
everybody.
They filmed it like that so that it had more
We got to put
power
our pasty skin on,
and
white face.
presenting-
I wouldn't even
presenting,
need
yeah.
to. Let's just go.
Can you-
back
You're a
to
Harkonnen.
naturally.
You're an
Halloween-
original
for Halloween,
Harkonnen.
can you go
Pure
bald?
blood.
Yeah.
Eyebrowless?
Absolutely.
Pure blood.
Also, Austin Butler,
He snapped. I love
he
him.
Wow.
still is
Wow.
Elvis though. Like his voice.
No,
I-
his
He was,
voice,
but he still
his
killed
voice
it.
is the same as
yeah.
the
his-
Vladimir Harkonnen.
His
the-
uncle, yeah,
his
yeah,
uncle.
yeah. No, I
killed it.
understood, but also sometimes he would speak, and I'd be like,
He would- yeah, he has three
oh,
different
and when that
voices
guy
in his-
played the guitar, I was like, is this Elvis?
That
But
was
then it
not-
wasn't him.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't even Josh Brolin playing that.
No,
Could've
it was
been.
like-
It was Josh Brolin.
The
He wrote the lyrics.
eight-string-
Oh, he really did. Wow.
He wrote the
I
lyrics
guess
with
props.
Hans Zimmer to
How do you know these things?
I've seen a lot of interviews, and I
Five
saw it
times,
5 times.
5 times.
5 times. I've seen 10 plus hours of this film,
I'm not mad at it. This is a good
and,
movie.
but it's so good.
Yeah, the music was slapping.
I
got
don't
it.
have anything to do with the film or anything. I feel proud for some reason like, that this exists. Like
Hey,
kudos to the
Hollywood.
team. Kudos to the team.
Welcome to Hollywood.
I was every time they would do a scene, I'd be like, that must have taken years to film. Like, or do you know what I mean? Like to set up.
It
Yeah,
probably was
no.
easier than anything. They're probably just in the desert. Like that. Shoot it.
And then gone.
Just bro.
Oh, I loved the Joan of Arc moment that Florence Pugh had.
Which one was
Okay.
Or
that?
when she had like
Oh,
the helmet thing.
Whatever this glass
Yeah,
stuff over her
the
face
Joan of
was.
Arc thing. I was like, okay, bring back
And what part of the
chain.
film?
The end.
The end.
Her outfit at the end. The chain
She's
wheel.
about to go to war.
Like
Yes.
the little knife swords.
Yes.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
outfit she wore 8. It was
Yes.
Was she the princess?
yeah, I think so.
Better be in jewels.
Better be.
And what do you think about it being PG-13? The film.
That was
I
perfect. It
close
didn't
my
need to go
eyes
darker.
a lot, but
I
I'm also
did see,
a
like,
baby.
in the corner of my eye, I saw you having a
All he
visceral
did
reaction
was
to
stab
several moments.
somebody
I
in the
can't.
Which
I
I
don't
love,
like.
which I love because
don't
it means-
like knives. Like I have a
Okay.
hard time with like.
This movie is
Okay,
about knives.
I don't have
Lots of knives.
No. Lots
anything
of
that is like close contact
And guns
physical
and nukes
stuff.
too, sure.
Well, the guns are I'm fine with, and blowing up is fine. When we're like slowly stabbing people, not a fan.
He was trying to stop
when
the
we're
knife.
like
I was like,
eating
yes,
people,
blood.
I really can't handle eating people, and that got a little weird for me.
With
Who was eating
Faye
people?
Rotha
With
and,
the like his ladies, he kept being like
Oh,
saving
yeah.
for my ladies, and
My
they're like
girls, they're
drenched
hungry.
in blood, and I was like, hate that
and
shit.
black blood, yes.
Actually,
He was nasty with that knife. He was just like, hey, so I don't think we should.
Yeah.
no.
And like,
dead.
I'm
Like,
gonna see
okay.
if my knife is sharp enough. Let me cut the throat of this woman right
He was
next
just
to
going
us.
crazy with that
Nah.
thing.
He's a psychopath.
I
But I do
enjoyed
love
his
that
character.
character.
Yup.
Yeah, I love
his
it
little
so much.
tweaks, and he's like, ah.
Yeah.
When his uncle's getting stabbed, you're like, oh yes, I bleed more. I was like,
So-
okay.
I feel like
Funny.
that.
No, he played that character up. That was great.
No, he
and
was
I hate Timothy Chamomile, but he did a great job. Did a
I
great
think he did a
job.
great job. Yeah, he was
He's
great.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
from playing a soft boy at the beginning of the film to actually
He
listen
took
out
it all
guys.
the
Yeah.
way.
He
He
took
committed.
it all the way,
He
and
committed.
it was good. It was good.
Yeah, he committed.
And
Zendaya killed it too.
She did.
Zendaya.
What was the thing? So
Zendaya's
they
my
don't
favorite
cry?
part of the
Is
film.
that like the Fremen don't cry, or
Because water is so precious, you
Yeah.
cannot
Because
sweat.
at the end,
you
I felt
cannot
like,
cry.
is this like she gonna cry or she's
No.
not? Then I remember them saying that, and I'm like, are they trying to make a point right here?
Not even for the dead. Don't
Not-
waste your water.
Well,
And
it is a
what
waste
do you
of
think about the oasis underground that they had, the pool
Oh, that was
with
cool.
the 38
I
million
didn't know
deciliter?
it was water for a long time
was
though. I thought it was
sad.
just like really
Like a mirror?
deep.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then I was like, oh, she water.
And when they were pouring like the water
Yeah.
Of the dead.
I
and
was
stuff.
fine when it was like consensual and shit, and they went through the whole thing. But when there were a couple the beginning when they were like unconsensually
Oh, just
stealing
stealing the water? Like,
I was
hey,
like,
yeah.
this is a lot.
Hey, he died.
Well, they
What
were
is
stealing
us?
it from the devil.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Okay,
Something weird.
Paul was doing this thing where he would touch the ground and talk to somebody. Did I miss something in the first film?
They said don't don't listen to the spirits.
be like-
and
like-
then he, yeah.
Timothy-
He would be talking to people.
Oh, he was listening
my
to
deep usul. It was like,
Say that again. That was beautiful.
That's crazy.
No. So in the first movie, he had to kill a guy
I remember that.
to get the respect of the tribe.
I remember that.
And I feel like he's has a spiritual connection
Oh,
because
so
that's
he's
the
talking
first
to
person
him,
he's
that is-
talking
Yeah,
to.
okay.
yeah.
When he he
I
was
remember he
sent
saw
off-
him for that second, but I was like, is he just hallucinating or that's him
No, that was
talking to
Zendaya.
him?
That was Chan.
No, when like he says
Or
something, then he like
after?
turns around, yeah, and he's like with the big old beard and everything.
Yeah. Okay. So he thought Timothy Chalamet's character thought he had seen that person who I don't remember the name. for some
It was
reason.
like Jamie, but it wasn't Jamie. It looked
Oh,
like
yes,
Jamie
yes,
on the
yes.
screen.
But
but
Jamis.
there you go.
So he thought he had seen Jamis when he's sent off to cross the desert with some food, but that was Zendaya's character,
yep,
Chani.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Chani.
he thought he was listening to the desert's
Which
voices,
they told
but
him
he
not
wasn't.
to
Yeah.
do.
No, but he wasn't, and he never did.
Until he asked.
No, he asked Jamis specifically,
Okay.
not
But
the
I
jinn.
still,
That's
but
still
I
the
still
jinn.
think they said don't listen to the spirit thingies, and
Did
then
say
he
that.
listened to the spirit
And then he
thingies,
did go south.
and then
Everything
everything
went
got
wrong.
bad.
And then literally
Honestly,
he went out.
Yeah.
he listened to
He went
everybody and everything went bad.
Yeah.
Because he had Josh Brolin in his ear talking that shit. Yeah. The other dude, like, you're the chosen one. You already said or whatever he was saying.
Yes.
Nissan,
There
there
were
we
too many
go.
words. Yep.
There was a lot of
There were a
words.
lot of
Too many
words.
words.
Everybody
yes.
was corrupt. His mom was corrupting him. Like
No,
everybody
also,
was
if
corrupting
my
him.
mom had some blue weirdness and then all of a sudden had tattoos on her face, I would go beat these people up and be like, what the fuck did you do to my mom?
And his
Well,
unborn
that's the
sister's
thing.
talking
They
to him.
changed.
Yeah.
They changed like who
The
they were.
rules.
I love the line where Chani says to him like, I will love you as long as you remain who you are, or something like
Yeah,
Oh
that.
yeah,
Don't quote me on
he
that,
already
but-
knew then. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah, no,
this is
like-
over.
You're right. Yeah,
Mom.
like,
I'm gonna see her on Tinder later.
I'm a change. I'm a
literally.
change. Yeah, and that's like the
Crazy.
wording of their love is so specific that you can foresee that they're gonna like have a bad ending.
This is
even
true.
if you haven't.
Yeah.
This is
Yep.
true.
The
I thought it
wording's
was a
so
little
specific.
too on the nose sometimes.
was,
Like the
yeah,
dialogue,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like,
They guided
you
it, they
will
guided it.
betray me one day. I was like, okay.
Hey,
But I
they
also
guided it.
understand we were like teasing. I can't fault. I would say the dialogue's the weakest part, but I wasn't like mad. You know
That's-
what I
I
mean?
wasn't. It was
That's
simple. It was like Vin
interesting because
Diesel
the name-
kind of like.
Yeah, it was.
To
That's
the
so
point.
funny.
Yeah.
Couple of words.
That's so funny.
And we're done.
Because Denis says he hates dialogue in his films.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh,
and
that
he
made- I
tries,
like it.
He tries to do it.
Well, he did a great
everything.
job. He did a great job.
He tries to do like a Stilgar coming down with the sandworm. No dialogue. That's just imagery and sound.
You could
And that's-
probably
that's
watch
Well,
that
that's
movie
his
without
strength.
words.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
totally.
say every time they talk, it like
Beautiful.
took me out of the situation.
Yeah.
Also, because they're all American. Like I kind of forget
Accept them
Americans
all.
can do fantasy things. Like, how you doing? Like when they sounded Southern, I was like, I'm gonna throw up. Like,
They sounded southern.
when Austin Butler in the beginning,
Oh,
like
oh,
his
oh,
first
yeah.
line, I just wasn't ready, and I was like, this is a lot. But then I got used to it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I also love the
His black teeth.
one. Yeah.
Ew, no.
When Paul Atreides comes back to life, I love that his first words is yes for some reason, and then thanks to you.
Yeah.
Like he's the wording of that part, to be grateful to still be alive, but also a little bit corrupted in his look. Like there's so
yeah.
many layers in that.
Oh no, he shifted. That
He
was
could've-
that was
he
well
could've-
done.
No, he's probably like not him anymore.
Yeah,
Not
I was
him.
thinking,
legit.
yeah.
totally.
No,
I
he's
feel
like,
like
a
he's
different
actually
person.
part of the water, whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
water
yeah.
of life is. It's like he's a worm now
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his mom and his
Oh.
sister.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's actually that's what's
Well,
controlling everything.
Spoiler alert: his
Oh,
son.
yes.
I won't
Is a
spoil it.
worm, right?
His son's a
I'm
worm.
I'm pretty sure his son
He's
is a worm.
Half man,
worm.
half worm.
How I don't even want to ask.
No, I
that
keep
happened.
seeing fan art of it, and they're like,
Yeah.
look, and he's like, ah.
Yeah,
I'm like, I hate
that's his
that.
son.
Is it frightening?
That's
Yeah,
what
it
I
is
was trying-
frightening.
Yeah,
It's
A
weird.
little bit.
Why is he half man, half worm? Does Paul Atreides he has to mate with a
Well,
worm?
no, he
No,
mates
no,
with
no.
Zendaya, and he has like one normal-ish girl, and then they have a worm.
Oh, because he drank the water of life. That makes sense.
Well, not precisely.
yeah.
That might be a reason, but
Yeah,
I
it's
think
in
his
his
son.
DNA now.
I think his son just gives
Was
into the
cast.
desert and
becomes a
becomes
worm.
the desert.
Oh yes, one
That's-
becoming
yeah.
the worm.
That sounds.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
Don't quote me on that one.
We'll
I'm
have to see
still
how
to
we
read the
do it.
book.
When the more we come
No,
No,
down,
when
we'll
they
have
make
to
it
look.
to in like
I haven't
10
read the book.
years.
He's just
But-
got one arm that's like a worm.
No, I feel like
Go for it.
I've read that they finished Messiah, the script, and that Hans Zimmer is already making the music
Of
for
course
it.
he is.
They have to like.
I know. Isn't this?
Hey, that's a great. Hey,
Like,
can you do the intro for the?
yeah.
No. But
Next time on Hind Ight.
Hey, the album is coming.
but,
Crazy.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. I feel like I need to forget this movie and watch it again like in a
Stop,
couple years
bro.
because I
Yeah, he's like after my seventh time,
Yeah,
then
no,
I'll forget it.
literally.
yeah because I don't like being a fan. I was a fan
You're
when
allowed to be a fan.
Yeah, it was.
no,
good,
but
man.
it blinds me from my objectiveness.
see, I
But
see.
I was a
Good movie,
fan when
good movie,
Endgame happened,
That movie
and
sucked,
then
though.
after that I stopped being a fan. And I was a fan when the prequels happened. I was 8 years old. and then
Prequels
I
of what?
stopped- the
Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
The
The prequels, yeah,
The
should've known.
prequels.
Should have known.
The Hobbit doesn't count as prequels, so
No.
the prequels are.
I thought you were talking about Black Widow, bro.
No, no,
I
no.
love Black Widow. Fun fact.
Zendaya was Black Widow in this film. Hit him
Women.
with the like, you know, the little shit.
Oh yeah, that scene.
I love when
Where
they
that
were
was
like.
a good one
killed
shot. Yeah, that
10
was awesome.
people
Oh
with
yeah,
that
awesome.
kick.
nonchalantly.
Yes,
Beautiful.
It was
that was
crazy.
beautiful. And it proved her power. Like she's very powerful.
I like when she had a helmet. That
Yeah.
was,
Oh yeah, when they
the
just
helmet was cool.
Yeah.
went full Iraq on him.
Yeah. Stop.
And
Iraq is not Iraq. Just
Iraq.
Arrakis. Arrakis, not Iraq.
That's just our new
We
slang.
just want to
made
point
up.
that out
That's
because the
crazy.
book was written in America. So be careful
Yeah,
there.
literally.
Why?
They're invading the desert and they're bombing the
Is
shit
it-
out of the desert, and
Is it about
it's not happening now at all.
Playing basketball with my guy's head at the beginning.
Yeah,
That
no, it was so random.
ridiculous.
They were like,
That was like
That is the best description I've heard about the
Okay.
film ever.
Okay.
no, it was
That was really
crazy.
intense.
I do love that he has like a wrestling background, so he has that corporal
The demeanor.
presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he can make
Okay,
only
bro.
he can make that happen.
Yeah.
That was
Bounce-
intense.
bounce
Funny.
on That was beautiful.
I thought
Yeah.
it was impressive that it was him and Austin Butler, and I was like more scared of Austin Butler than a wrestler.
Oh, that's
I agree.
Yeah.
That's an achievement.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it was interesting.
But that's because he was like derived.
Yeah,
in
no,
his
in his
mind,
brain.
and it was
Killed his
scary,
mother.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Nonchalantly.
Yeah, they did kind of just skim over that.
They
like,
did.
oh, it
They
happens.
they were like, after the woman said that she was like pregnant with his child, he was like,
Oh,
oh
shit,
yeah,
yeah.
and he killed his mom. It was
No,
like,
but she said it
Irrelevant.
so she knows that his kid,
Yeah.
her kid, could
Irrelevant.
kill her.
yeah,
That
weird.
is, I didn't even read that. Yeah.
Weird.
Well,
And
rate it, guys.
Out of 10,
oh,
You go.
me,
for it.
already know.
I don't feel like I can fairly rate it.
Then
So-
try
so
your
do it,
best.
please.
Yep.
For me, it was like a 6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting a
But
6.
it was like
For-
objectively good. I just
What
didn't
do you
have
think-
a
what
great
do you
time.
Think, just one question. What do you think of 2001: A Space Odyssey?
I didn't have a good time at all.
Okay, so there you go. Telling her something. No, no,
Out of
I
10.
at
wish
10.
I
At
was
10.
high.
Oh, you're just straight 10 in it. I
Yeah.
like
Straight.
that.
I don't do that. I did that with Oppenheimer. I did that,
That was a
with
10,
Oppenheimer's really
That was
good.
a 10.
2001, and I did that with Dune.
I don't think
That's it.
2001 is a sober movie. I don't know if this was a sober movie either.
It was. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
That was
9,
fire.
solid 9.
Solid 9.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
I could take it higher, but you know, me and Timothy Chalamet got a little.
Yeah, what's up with
Got a
you
little thing.
and Timothy?
This was his first good outing for me.
Really?
You know, so I
Did you
give it
see
to
Little
him.
Women?
I was just gonna say,
What is Little Women?
There you go. There you go. Telling on himself again.
that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, I have to tap
He's
in
the
there.
love
Yeah.
interest
He's-
of
he's
Florence
Laurie.
Pugh.
He's
Of Florence
Laurie.
Pugh.
Okay, I'll tap in.
He's so good.
Don't you love the reunion?
No, I know,
Timothy
it was
and
so weird
Florence
actually
Pugh?
seeing them together.
Get
Oh,
my
wait
wife
for-
down!
Yeah.
Wait for the third one.
I like the yells. That was actually
Yeah, the yelling
a
was
highlight
great.
for me. It's like how my parents used to do. I think that they also are Bene Gesserits.
That's crazy.
I'd be like,
They used the voice on you?
No, literally.
That's hilarious.
My dad would be like that.
That's hilarious.
like, oh shit. Having
mean,
flashbacks.
Yeah, a little sad, but hilarious.
Just fucking traumatized.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
well.
hey,
You
my
had to
parents used to
walk
go to
out.
church though. That was it. Hey,
That's
I
crazy.
had the juice. All right, we out.
Yeah,
Bye.
it's been 3 hours. We've been talking about it. The review's longer than the film.